I'm struggling today, y'all. I'm struggling because, you really shouldn't look at the news too much or even like I have to reset my YouTube feeds and all that other stuff. But with, everything that's going on in the world today, I only care about what's happening with my people. I only care about what affects us because the rest of the world don't care about us. And so I just feel like I have to, you know? And so it's hard to see, I'm seeing more and more people on social media wake up to the fact that literally it seems like every subgroup in this world hates us. And they do everything they can um, to, to down us, to take from us. I was looking at some stories about people in New York and how the Jewish community has been defrauding them out of their homes and taking their homes. These are black people, y'all. These are our people. And the only reason why, all the stuff that we go through as a people, we go through this because everybody knows that, the law in this land is not going to protect us. They know that. That's why they do it. They felt like they could go to prison for something that they've done to us, they wouldn't do it. And so my concern is for my people. I saw a video of some Jewish guy that got convicted, was supposed to be sentenced for fraud and taking people's homes, and it got delayed. And the victims weren't even made aware that his sentencing date had gotten delayed. And that's what happens when you have a community where who has money, and you live in a society where money speaks louder than anything. People's greed is so astonishing right now that people will do anything for a dollar, for some money, that can't save, that can't help, that can't do, you know, um, seeing and hearing how, I was listening to a lady who was running for office in one of the neighboring states, and she was saying how she overheard the immigrants who are running against her, how they have like whole laws set in place to imprison us indigenous American Indians if they get into office, and how they have plans to get reparations um, for all immigrants based off of how they're being treated by ICE and all that other stuff, and how they plan on doing absolutely nothing but the worst to us whose land this belongs to. And again, no one's doing anything. No one's saying anything for us but us. And so it's really disheartening. It can be really heavy to see so many people struggling, at the same time. Well, it's not really struggling, but it's just a constant harassment from these other groups. It's just, it's astounding. It's exhausting. And I'm about to start praying to some spirits. I'm going to find some spirits to pray to. I think about, of course, I'm going to bring up Lord of the Rings. But I think about Aragorn and how he had to go to the Dimholt mountain to call on those ancestors who were bound to serve him in war. those ancestors who could not get rest their until they honored their oath to fight for the king of Gondor and win for the king of Gondor. And like it wasn't the wizard that told him, but it was Elrond who told him, like, you have so many people against you. There's no way you can win this war without those people in the Dimholt Road. And so Aragorn, hearing that, Arwen is now connected to the ring and she is dying, he just went ham and was like, F all of it. I'm going to go and save my baby as best I can. And if I can't save her, I'm going to die with her. And so he went to that Dimholt Road and said, I do not fear death. And so I do believe that us as, indigenous people, we have come to this point where we do not fear death. Some people say, oh, there's a 7-year tribulation. And when have we not been in tribulation is my question. 7 years of tribulation. We've been in tribulation for over 400 years. Our people, over and over and over again. And the plan of these other individuals is to continue that tribulation. But time is the decider of all things. Time is something that we don't consider very much because we've been taught that it's so linear and, it's just 1 minute, 1 second after another. But time is so much bigger than that. And, I think we've reached the time where we are at that point where we need to get to our Dimholt roads. We need to get into our prayer closets and call on our archangels and our angels to come and start fighting these battles for us. Those of y'all who do not call on your ancestors, they are there. Just like the spirits at the Dimholt Road was there for Aragorn. Unlike what Aragorn had to say to them is, they said, no, we don't suffer anybody. And Aragorn said, bitch, you will suffer me. And they did, because he was the rightful king of Gondor. And they were bound to him. And so us as the rightful people of this planet, and I mean what I say it with my whole chest, us as the rightful people of this planet, if you look at the foundation of every nationality on this planet, the foundation is us. And I don't care what these lying history books say. We did not originate in Africa. We originated here in the Americas. The Garden of Eden, and the land of milk and honey is not over there. It is over here. America has the most fresh water in the world. There was a point in history where most of the food came from America. That's how they knew we were here. All of the education came from America. We have Egypt over here. Egypt is here, along with a lot of other places that they say is over there, but it's not. It is all here. That's why so many people are trying to get here. They're trying to control the source of life. And they're trying to get rid of the people who control the source of life. They want to lock us up. They want to do whatever it is they want to do to us, not understanding that we are the source of life. And so we are the people of God. We are the people that God created and placed on this planet, whoever and wherever God may be. We are the people that God ordained to be the leaders of this planet. And it shows because we are the only people saying us instead of me. We're the only people who have consistently fought for all humankind instead of just our one group of people. We are the only people who were able and willingly and openly opened our arms to them pilgrims that came over here, and we welcomed them and took care of them, taught them how to live here, taught them how to farm and how to grow their own food, and used our magic to heal them and showed them what we were about. And for our love, they replaced it with hatred and murder, enslavement. And to this very day, this is what, but time is the decider of all things. And so time has dictated that this period, this demiurge period that we suffered is over. Time is dictating that the people who were in control, who were fighting hand and foot, tooth and nail to stay in control, their time is up. And so all these little subgroups who are trying to gain control, who have been working with this monster, this demon for hundreds of years, and they try to make it seem like, oh, we had nothing to do with them. They were all in on it. They were all in on it. That's why they're all over here accosting us together. That's why, because they're bound to each other. They can't fight for our rights because they're bound to the demon that their ancestors promised to serve until this time. And this time is here. Their time is up. And so we are fighting this war, and people say, oh, World War III, we're expecting it to look like what World War I and II look like. But no, we're in World War right now. But the Bible says that the weapon of our war is not carnal. It is spiritual. And so if the weapons of our war are not carnal, why are we not calling on the spirits? As above, so below. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. And time has decided in heaven that it's time for these monsters to go back to wherever they came from. It's time for them to leave us the fuck alone. It's time for them to give us our power back. They have no control over whether we get our power back, because time has dictated that your time is up. And the more days that go by, the more time they lose. And so I just want to urge you to call on your angels and call on your ancestors. Go to the Dimholt Road and summons a power that has the ability to beat any army on the face of this planet. We don't have to lift a finger. All we have to do is lift our voices. So I'm calling on y'all to go to your Dimholt Road. If you don't want to call your spiritual help ancestors, call them your angels. Call them your guardian angels, but call them.